Hey guys, so we have this question, and the first thing we were being asked to do is for everything here is a distance, so the distance between P and Q, P and R, P and whatever, Q and R, everything. So we were asked, is it a metric? Okay, so is this matrix as a metric? Okay, so in order to be a metric, it have to be three things. First of all, positive definiteness, meaning all the distances are positive, and the distance between each object to anyone else have to be bigger than zero, and distance between one and himself, meaning the diagonal, have to be zero. So P to P is zero, Q to Q is zero, R to R is zero, etc. So symmetry, meaning the distance between Q to P have to be the distance between P to Q. Okay, so Q to P have to be the same as P to Q. And triangle, meaning Dij, so to go from P to anywhere else, the shortest path have to be to go through that, meaning there is no way you go through a point and then the distance which it's tell you it's gonna be less than the value. So for example, let's do Q to T. Okay, Q to T is 8, meaning I cannot go Q to P to get 2, and then from P go to T in a shortest path than 8. So this is the triangle equation. Now, for all the distances are bigger than 0, it's pretty easy to see, and the diagonal is 0. All Dij and Ji are equal to each other. I did a manual check. I also did one in Python, so please send me a comment and I will send you the link. And what we were asked for the triangle, it does not hold. So we look for an example. I did also that in Python, but we can see the example. So the distance between P and R is 8, but if we go D to P and then Q, and then from Q to R, is less than this, it's 7. So the distance between P and R is 8, but if we go P to R, P to Q is 2, and then Q to R, it's 5. So the total is 7. So it does not hold, so meaning it is not a metric, but a divergent. Okay, I hope I pronounced it right. Now, we will create we'll perform a hierarchical clustering using the single link method and present the resulting dendrogram. So the single link method meaning the minimum distance. So if we group couple of objects together, we're going to choose the one with the minimum distance. Okay? So what I did was, first, in order to start each distance in ascending order, the groups are all the values. So the minimum distance is P to Q, which is 2. Okay, and then we select the second smallest when P, Q are 1 point. So we can see here this is like a 1 point. Now the minimum distance is D to S and T, which is 3. Now we merge also S and T together into 1 point. So we have P and Q and S and T. And we select the minimum distance, which is dr to S and T, which is 4. And then we do the same thing. We merge the groups. Now we only have one option, which is ST and R and P and Q. The distance is 5. And we create the single link dendrogram. Okay? Now, what about a complete link dendrogram? Okay? When we perform a hierarchical clustering. So the complete link, meaning if we have a couple of points, we select the furthest one. Okay? So the maximum distance. So we select the minimum distance between P, Q, R, S, and T, which is, again, 2. Now we select the minimum distance between all these groups, okay, which is again ds to t. And now we can see that in action that we select the minimum distance, but from the maximum distance within the groups. So here's the groups, and we have P to R, P and Q to S and T, and S and T to R. So the distance between P and Q to R is the maximum between the distance between P and R and D to Q and R. So the maximum is 8. Here, the distance between P and Q to S and T is the maximum between D to P to S, D to P to T, and D to Q to S, D to Q to T, and the maximum between this it's 10. And now the distance between R, S, and T is the distance between R and S and R and T. The maximum here is 5, and this is the minimum value. So from all the maximum value, this is the minimum. And now we select the minimum distance between these two groups, but because there are only two, there are the minimum distance, and we create the dendrogram, and that's it. So hope you like this video. Please like and subscribe. It helped me a lot. Please subscribe. Until next time, I'm out.